Hi, this video is going to briefly explain on how to input a video stream into the Jetson TX2 and then wirelessly stream it over a local wireless network. I'm going to describe the setup right here, and so we have the Jetson TX2 there connected to a monitor, HDMI monitor. This keyboard and mouse is connected to the Jetson, and then we have a host computer, in this case a Mac desktop, which is connected to the power, and then this keyboard and mouse is connected to the desktop Mac computer. Now let's go over to the hardware, and we're going to look at the Jetson TX2 hardware. And so the Jetson TX2 hardware, or connections I should say, we have the power cord here, which is connected to the outlet to power this board. We have two antennas which provide us with very good Wi-Fi and then the USB port right here, which goes to a USB hub, and I will explain this in a little bit. And then finally there's an HDMI output which goes to the screen, which at this point went to sleep because I had it on for a while. I have to click the keyboard to wake it up. And so let me explain here that the USB output of the Jetson goes here to the USB hub, and the USB hub has 4 occupied slots. 2 of them are for the mouse and keyboard. One of them is for an HDMI to USB video converter, which I'll explain in a second. And one of them is a USB cord which powers the FLIR Duo, which is the camera that we're using. And so since I'm here, I will explain this real quick. So we have the FLIR Duo, which is a visual and thermal camera, and it has 2 outputs. It has a micro USB and a micro HDMI. So the micro USB cable, which comes with the camera, is connected to the USB hub to power it. Now it has other stuff here, like these pulse width modulation things, which we're not going to use. That's for the drone. And then this is analog output actually, but we're not using that either. Sorry, this is like I had it nicely set up and now it's falling. Now it's kind of embarrassing. And so unfortunately the camera has to be always powered on with a USB. Now we use the HDMI output of the FLIR Duo, right? You see that it has 2 outputs. The micro HDMI output to connect it to a HDMI to USB converter. It's a very expensive converter, but it did work. And that is fed into the Jetson TX2. And so what I just explained basically is how the video stream from the FLIR Duo comes from the micro HDMI to HDMI cable into the HDMI to USB converter, into the USB hub, and into the Jetson TX2. Okay, awesome. But now how are we going to stream this to this desktop? Which the desktop is, if you see, only connected by a power cord. There's nothing else connected to it, so it's going to receive this via Wi-Fi. So what we're going to do here is go to this mouse and keyboard and set up. So you want to sleep. Let me just log in. What we're going to do is quickly set up a wireless network. I'm already connected, but I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to disconnect, and I'm going to go to the wireless, and I'm going to go to create new Wi-Fi network. Right, and so this is how you would do it. And you would create a new network. Then name your network. So I'll name it local 1. And then I will create a key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. I'm going to create this network. It says I am connected to this network. Awesome. And now, I kind of already have it in here, but I will generate this pipeline, which, let me focus in here. I'm using GStreamer, Video for Linux 2 source, device. Alright, so the camera is at video 1. Here's some formatting stuff, the video configure, etc., etc. Here's the resolution, 1280 960. Here's some encoding stuff, parsing, and then we're using UDP protocol. Sync host has a certain IP address, and then we're just choosing port 5000. We're going to press enter, and then we get a bunch of stuff here. And it is streaming at the moment. So now that it is streaming, what we're going to do is go to our second mouse and keyboard, and we're going to go on our host PC, and we are going to generate this line of right here, which is once again GStreamer, UDP source, port 5000. There's a bunch of fancy stuff here, some decoding, deparsing, and we're going to press enter. And when we press enter, we should see our image pop up in just a second. It's actually taking longer than usual. Oh, I see the issue. I see the issue. It's kind of good because you guys are seeing some troubleshooting here. So I'm going to press Control and C here. I'm going to press Control and C to cancel. It's kind of good that you guys are seeing the troubleshooting. And I'm going to clear the screen. And what I actually forgot to do is connect to the Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to go to select network, because I was actually connected to the old one. And select network. I'm going to turn off and turn on the network. Select network. There we go. Alright, there was some troubleshooting there. Connect to local 1. They need the key, which I'm going to type in. I am connected, and I'm going to redo what we did before. Press enter, and now we have a live stream. And you're saying, well, what is this? Well, the camera's facing the ceiling at the moment, and so if we kind of face it at ourselves, or maybe I don't want to see my ugly face, maybe I'll put it at something else. You see that it is in fact a visual. Now, yeah, we are getting some, and this camera's pretty high, we are getting some footage here. So, sorry for the amateur recording, but that is pretty much it. We have, in fact, streamed wirelessly over local network. The next goal is to do this long range. So, thank you for tuning in, guys.